Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today, it's time for our money mindset coach, Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. How you doing, Karen?
Good and nice and cold.
And I'm Carolina from California Cover Ups. And my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, is producing this show in the background. So we want to give a shout out to Fran. Hey,
My
she's got
friend.
us everywhere today, Coach. We're on Facebook and we're on Periscope, and we're out there on YouTube. So we're excited. So we want to welcome everybody who's watching live
Welcome.
and on the replay. And we want to say, hey, sit back, relax. Let's get some nuggets from Coach Caren. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm fabulous. Crazy morning, but fabulous.
Cool. What are we talking about today?
Well, I'm going to go back a little bit and then I'll tell you what we're talking about today. Last week we talked about pains. And we talk about pain and looking at it in a different way and what causes it. It's a mental and a physical thing. We're going to
Mhm.
talk a little bit more about pain, but we're going to talk about it differently this week. And we're
Good.
talking about the pain as a fuel to sell. We're going to talk
Oh,
about
okay.
how we use it to sell because we want to tie our business in. But you guys know, and if you've been listening to us for a while, you know I talk about the personal first and then I dive into business because business is an extension of who you are. If you keep remembering that, you'll do business really well. You wouldn't feel as fatigued and overwhelmed because you'll be working in alignment with yourself and your product or your service. And I'm telling you, there's bumps, yes, but it's going to serve you so much better in the long run versus trying to run it as a different entity from you.
Oh,
It's very important. If you notice, small businesses will prosper no matter how much difficult time they're having, is because once they understand or they find out who they are, because let's face it, business allows you to find yourself. If for no other reason, everybody should start a business just to find out who they are. It
mm,
stretches you, it pushes you, it pains you, but it also helps you to find solutions for things that you could never think there was a solution for. This is why business is good. The money part is great because you know I talk about that, but it really helps you and really teaches you things that without running a business, you will never experience.
wow.
All right. So we're talking today about using pain as the fuel to sell.
Okay.
Really, that's how people sell, whether they understand it or not. The ladies know I've been working on a book called The Conversational Seller. And even though it's a more quieter way of pulling on the pain, it still is going to talk and touch on it. It has to. That's how people buy. They buy because, you buy makeup because you want to look a certain way. You want to hide a blemish. It makes you feel well. And that blemish might be coming from some kind of a pain, whether it's because of pimples, whether because it's a scar or something. And when you can relate to that with somebody, it's easy for them to buy not only one item, but two, three, four, five items from you because now you're putting them in this place of feeling better about themselves. You're easing their pain. That's what we do as
Okay.
sellers. We ease people's pain. And when it's a
I'm
product that
writing
it
that
doesn't make
down.
sense,
Hold on.
don't worry that it's not gonna help. So
We're
okay.
easing people's pain
Yes,
via ourselves.
yes, we are.
Okay. And
We
then you
are.
said using pain as fuel to sell.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure I heard
Yes.
it because I've been
Using pain as a fuel to sell. The copywriters, even if they're not good copywriters, if you are not sure, if start looking at copywriters, start looking at copy, and you'll see the pain in there. Not the sleazy pain, not the one that make you feel bad about yourself. The real pain, because they want to connect with you on a real deep level, and they
mm,
really want to help you find a solution. Nobody's really wanting to come in to necessarily be the solution. They want to be with you on the journey to your solution. This is a partnership. Anytime you buy something and you just feel left alone, you feel like you lost. You feel like you spend money for nothing. But when the person is partnering with you, it's a different feeling. It's more of a reward versus I got taken for a ride. And that's why, we hear about the sleazy salesman. It's because of how they made you feel. And that's what we want working on. I know me desperately and other people to change that feeling when we think about sale. Because that's the reason why people are afraid to sell. And they're like, I don't like selling. But they don't like selling because of some experiences. But that's not how you're going to shape yours, because now you know what you don't like. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about the email exercise. And why am I doing it this route? It's because it's going to help you see how you journey through a pain of yours, the solution you have found, and how now you're going to relate that to selling people, to selling them on the idea, to selling them through what they're going through. And you have to have some kind of relationship to them so that they can feel this connection. And if you
Mm.
don't, you got to go find it. You got to go find it. Now, some pains to stir up is hard, but it's important. Every time you stir a pain that you've buried so deep that you don't want to touch it, it's slowly touching you. It is calling you because you don't want to deal with it. The
Mm.
more you run from it, the more it's calling you. So it's better for you to find a solution for that pain, work through it, help somebody else work through it, because that's part of you working through it. Every time you help somebody with their pain, you are looking after also your pain, whatever that pain
Oh.
was. Even if you think I fix it, I have a solution, I'm good, you have bits and pieces of it that need healing. And so to heal that part is your job. It's you helping somebody. Every time you help somebody, you are closing the gap closer to the pain that you were pushing aside. I rather you deal with it. I rather you see what it's for and then go forward with it. Because if you remember last week, I talked about going through pain and feeling it and doing exercises to get you past it. So maybe you're at that place right now, so you can help somebody because you came a mile, you came 2, 3 miles. So if you're looking after people who is at mile 1, you can help them 2 and 3. Now, don't worry about the people who is past those miles, because if they also didn't address certain things while they were going past mile 1 and 2, you get in there and you get to talk to them about it. You get to also be that brace for them. And that's why I choose. I could tell you a lot of different things, but the reason I'm choosing email is because that's going to be part of how you sell. So that's why I'm choosing that.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, you can use that also with Messenger if that's the route you're going, or if you go on calls with them. That's the way you'll do it. If you're like me in the service business, when people book time with me, they're trying to cover everything.
Mhm.
It's not possible, but they try. And I have to I'm at a stage now where it's really just 1 or 3 things we're going to be able to do. If you're at a more accelerate, we can cover 3. If you're in the beginning, we're barely going to cover 1.
Mhm.
And sometimes when people hear that and they're thinking money, they're freaking out. But it's better to cover 1 really well and understand what your next steps are than to try to cover a whole bunch, which is going to paralyze you and make you do nothing. Pain is funny. Pain
Mm.
can push you, keep you standing still, infuriate you, overwhelm you. It can do all those things. Guess what's the good news? You get to choose what it's going to do to you, for you. You do really get to choose. It might not seem so, but it is. Any
Mm.
questions, Terry?
No, I am looking at this and I'm taking these notes, and I never really looked at pain in this way. I looked at, approaching business as, your business should solve a problem. Okay. Which is what I hear you saying. You need to
Yes,
find out identify that problem and the pain that it's causing, and then approach it from that direction.
yes,
That, okay, I have this product. When you look better, you feel better,
yes,
and it gives you confidence. So,
yes,
these things will help you with those things.
yes.
Um, and this is the way we should look at our business, that we are problem solvers. We are.
Yeah, yeah, we really are. We really are. I mean, your cover up solves the problem of once you start getting a bulge at the side, you're just self conscious of it.
Yeah,
And
you're
whether
right.
you ever tell anybody or even yourself, some people don't even look in the mirror anymore when those bulges get too big. And it's hard to see. It's a pain. It's some kind of pain and suffering that caused the bulge to begin with. It is something that they had, whether it's food, whether it's worry. Because by the way, it's not only food that get you fat. Stress and worry do get you fat.
Yes, we do. Uh-huh.
Put on pounds. Be like, I'm not eating more, but just sitting there with it, it helps you to gain weight. And so you might not even be at the stage where you can do that. So Terry is helping you to feel better. Because what happens when you feel better? You want to do better. And that doing better might not be big right away. It might be this, but it's still part of your doing. All I ask is that you jot it down. All I ask is that you make sure you keep an account towards getting it larger. Because you see, if you do it and you have no account, that's how accountability come in. You can't even see. A friend of mine put on IG, I think this morning or it was last night, where you were asking to be where you are right now. And now that you're here, are you thanking you for getting you there? Are you thanking you for being where you are right now? Or are you sitting in the worry that you can't get to where you want to be?
Oh my
Where are
goodness.
you going? And a lot of us don't do that. That's why I love Winning Wednesdays. This is like my day. Like I get to celebrate all my wins. And sometimes my wins is just very, very silly. Very, very, it's nothing big. Like I was off sick. I couldn't get up. I couldn't use my voice. But today I'm able to. So I get to dance. I sweat for an hour dancing. That's my win. It didn't have to be money. It's just that I'm able to move in a way that I couldn't move 2 days ago. That's my win. And I want to note it down. On so and so day, I got to do X, Y, and Z. You win getting you there. But you went through that pain and it gets you there because when you're sick, you don't feel like you're going to be better. It's just the truth. You feel like
Wow.
everything is crashing down. So could you imagine if you're in more pain, a different kind of pain, how you're not seeing where you should go, where you could go, where you have been? We don't take those into consideration and we really need to take pause and think about it. So going back, let's go right back to the cover up. So you bought a cover up from Terry because you needed to cover some things up. And you, first of all, you acknowledge that you needed to because it makes you feel better. So you want to note it down. And then once you start feeling better, you
Uh-huh.
notice your step increase. You are walking now at a more, oh my
Mhm.
God, I can't believe it state. You're like excited in this cover up that you put on. You're like, Carolina girl, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're saying it to yourself, you're feeling good, and the way you approach somebody, it's going to be different. You did it. You went out, you bought the cover up, you're walking in your glory, you're walking in his grace, and you're feeling better. So you're approaching things better. Now, if you had that noted down, you know that this is what happened then. And you know you can do it again, even if you fall down. And Terralina was part of this. She helped you with that pain that you were feeling. It's just a cover up, kind. I didn't, change the world. You change her world. You
Wow.
improve her day. You solve her problem. Yes, you did. So you have to really see your business and your product or services from that point of view.
Wow. You know what? Our tagline is we're on assignment to keep you looking beautiful. So it is why I started the business. And people's faces do light up when they try on something and it fits and they look attractive. They feel, sexy and feminine and so yeah, I guess I am solving a problem.
Yes,
I never, well, for me, it was a problem because I wanted to deal with my wonderfulness without feeling like I'm in a sack.
exactly. Exactly. Because some nonsense that they have selling for people that have a little bit of size is just ridiculous. Sometimes, I went into a store once and I was getting some stuff for my sister. She's pretty big. And I got in there, and when the woman started bringing things and showing it to me, I said to her, really? Honestly, who's wearing this stuff? Like who's wearing this stuff? Who's putting this stuff on? Who's buying it? I mean,
Yeah,
it didn't last too long. The store closed.
yeah. If they're buying frumpy merchandise, it makes sense. I mean, who wants to look frumpy? How
Right?
you doing this morning, Nora and Jerry?
Hi, guys. Who wants to look that way?
Yes.
Every time friends sell a house, she has solved somebody's pain. She has solved their problem. And when they're in that house, whether they call her up or not, because I know I do this with my real time, like, thank you, Sue, for finding this for me. You listen to me. You got me where I needed to be. I needed quite a few things, but the three main was I've got kids. I need to be close to the bus stop because I'm not chauffeuring everybody everywhere. At some
Mm,
point, they're going to be grown and they need to take the bus before they drive.
okay.
And plus, I wasn't born in a car. If something happened to my car, I should be able to get the bus easily. So I'm not
Hmm.
going behind and X1. And she listened. So took yes, they have places where she probably could have taken me, but it wouldn't suit what I want. So she listened to me. So I get to say to my kids, yeah, they're telling my son, I said, she's such a wonderful realtor. Like she got me what I needed. That's why you guys can hop out there and there's four buses to take you wherever you need to go. 5, 10 minutes walking, you're there. That's what was needed
Uh-huh.
because Canada's full of snow. And when it's cold and slippery, you don't want to have to walk too far to get
Gotcha.
transportation. So people are saying that. People are saying, they love the house, they love the area Fran got them into. They're talking to people. And this is how people sell for you. That's why you have to know what you're doing. They get to sell you. They get to speak your name when you're not in the room. They get to say, this girl, Francine Gregory, she's the one that hooked me up in this home. If, this is what she do for me. They're not even saying, go find her, but they're saying, go find her this way. She knew what I was looking for. She listened to me. She got me in the right area. She even heard what I was saying without me not saying it. Because I would never have picked X, Y, and Z. But this was included. Could you imagine? Because she's looking after her people. She's catering to them. That what makes a real good realtor versus the people who just stick you in wherever they want you. And we had to change to get that lady because we had somebody before that wasn't listening to us at all. He was looking after his agenda. So therefore, of course, I was not going to recommend him to anybody. And I told him eventually, I said, you're not a good realtor. You need to find a new job because you just stick at it. Yes, I'm one of those people who don't want the person
Well,
to keep thinking about other people.
well, it's real. I mean, it's very real, and people are getting hurt.
Yeah,
I think this is another reason why when we are in sales, and we're all in sales in one way or another, because we're all influencing people one way or the other,
yeah,
um, we need to have more conversations.
definitely.
And those conversations, you know, when politicians go out, they do a listening tour. We need to do a listening tour with our customers. Just call and say, you know what, I'm on a listening tour to hear what it is you'd like to see from my business in 2020.
Yep,
How can I help you?
yep, yeah, yeah. You see, most people come into business with the illusion that yesterday I'm going to be rich. And when you come in that state of mind because somebody who lied to you, you're frustrated and you can't believe it because your pain when it started, it didn't start all at once. It was little by little and it adds up, and therefore you solved it that way. So you're going to solve people problem also that way. Nobody wants to hear it, but the truth is that's how you're going to solve it. That's what's
Mhm.
going to happen. If you buy furniture and you went into a furniture store, you spend time looking around before you bought. And then if you had a really good salesman, he's going to call you up and ask you, we think about the sofa. Was it okay? What could he do differently? And if he didn't buy, he might call you back and he'll say to you, what are you looking for? The good guys. Like, what are you looking for? How many people are going to be sitting? Do you sit a lot on your sofa? Are you home a lot? Do you work from home? I had a guy who would call me and have conversations. I mean, I've never met anybody like him. But he was just talking to me. He's like, if he didn't want to buy, it's fine, but I just want to know. So I could put it in he had a little notebook as he go around writing down stuff.
Mhm.
We went out to the front, him and a lady. They were the top salespeople for that company. Their
Mhm.
pictures are when you walk in. He likes to say, he said, I tell them, don't try to buy today. Just come and enjoy with your eyes today. Just allow yourself to feel good that you're in the store. Yes, I'm paid commission, but you don't have to buy the sofa today or whatever. Just come and enjoy with your eyes. And he sells more by just allowing, he relaxes you. So if you were really panicking, I have to spend a couple $1,000s, when he's finished with you, you feel like it's okay if I didn't buy. It's okay if I bought nothing. And I remember buying 4 pieces that day from him. I bought sofa, I bought a fridge, I bought a washer and a dryer, everything. That day, I bought four things from him just from us chatting up, me and him chatting. And then when we got to the electric part, I tell you, he introduced me to his buddy. He said, "This is not my department, although I could sell you over here, but I'm going to introduce you to my buddy. He's going to look after you because I recommended you. So I'm going to let him get this portion of the sale, and I'll get this portion of the sale." He wasn't greedy in trying to grab the whole thing.
Yep, because he could have taken it all
Yes,
because he had the relationship.
he had the relationship. Not a part of sales, but his buddy was just as good. And I told him up front, I said, "If you're not as good as that sofa guy, I don't know what's going to happen here." And he took care of us. You know, they really work good with each other. And you have to start looking at yourself. My program is talking a lot about relationships building, my 4 hour work day, and really showcasing to people how you develop things and how everything attached to each other. It's not just a here is where you are and here is where you go. All this little stuff that happens in between is so important to build your business. Not I am selling this thing. Terry's not selling cover up. California cover up is where she's looking after people so they feel good about themselves. That first step out in her garment, so much confidence so that they can go and do what it is they want to do, feeling good. That piece of garment is part of the puzzle, but that's not only what she's selling. You got to understand that pain that she's looking after. Our pain was a sofa to sit on, a washer that wasn't quite finished, but the dryer was done. So we choose to just replace both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He solved that problem by just talking to us about the sofa and the home and the energy efficiency and all that sort of stuff. And then all of a sudden I was like, yes, it makes sense to get all this one time and one delivery and done. You never know the sale you're going to receive when
That's
you
right.
treat your clients well.
So, and so Jay says here that he worked in a furniture store. Let me put his comment. "I worked in a furniture store on commission, and it's stressful." Well, sales is stressful if depending on how you approach it, and that's
Yeah,
what you're talking about today.
yeah, yeah,
If you approach it from solving someone's uh, problem and taking care of the pain the problem is causing,
yes. You
then
have to take care of it. I hear you, Jay, because I used to own a daycare, and a father from the daycare, one of the kids' father, he used to sell furniture on commission. And he would sell the brick, and he would say to me, he said, "Kind, it's hard. Like, I don't know what's going to sell today. Like, you never know." I said, "Of course you know." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Do you know how much money you need to make per week?" Because he had lost his job wherever he was. It was hard for him. So selling furniture to him, I said, first of all, you were looking down upon people who used to sell for sale, for commission. So now that you're in that same boat, you can't even fathom. That's why you're having such a hard time. I'm like, what are you going to do every day you go there? "Oh, sell furniture." She said, "No, you're going to change people's lives. Why didn't your daughter daycare? So that you have the freedom to really provide for her." That's why she's in daycare. Not because you can't look at your daughter. He goes, "What?" I said, "Yes, your daughter's in daycare, in the care of people that is capable to set your mind at peace. That's why she's in daycare. That's why she's at this specific daycare. And your job and your wife's job is to go out there and serve the people you're serving." Now, you probably didn't look at a commission guy really great because you're a scientist, you see? And so part of you being selling furniture right now is God pulling you down from that height you were on too high for your own good. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this right now. You had an air about you when you first brought this child.
mm,
You notice the air is gone out of you? Uh-huh. You're selling furniture, right? Good. Now go sell furniture, understanding that you need to make X amount of dollars every week. If you get that, you're going to approach people differently. You're going to behave with them differently. You're going to sell differently. And then you're not going to stay the furniture for long because that's not where you're supposed to be. That's your
mm,
temporary assignment. That's a temporary
uh-huh.
spot. That is a place for you to gather yourself, apologize to who you need to apologize to, come right back down to earth. And then a lot
Humble
of good things
yourself.
are going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because you still have to pay us. We're not doing this for free. I just let them know straight up. And so he sold furniture for about 8 months to 9 months. And while selling the furniture, somebody that he was good to gave him an opportunity to be back to work because he was good to them. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to calm down to be able to get there. And some of us in business need that. We need like this Here you go. This is what you got to do. This is what you have to do. You're not helping people with their pains anymore. You've gotten too big for your shoes. You
Mm.
never want to get there, okay? People never want to get there. Let's listen to Coach Caren on this one. Don't you dare. Because you will be pulled down, you'll be shaken, you'll be set right, and it might feel like punishment, but what it's really doing, if you're paying attention. And I said to him, you came to us for daycare, but God knows you need somebody to talk some sense into you. That's why your child ended up with us. This had nothing to do with this daycare stuff. I recognized it when he came. He was one of those resistant parents, over daycare. He was very resistant, and we had his kid for 2 years. By the way, he stayed with us for 2 years until she ready to go to school. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, all right. Get back on track, Caren. We're talking about pain.
Well, we we did make some points here. You were saying that pain is the fuel for sales.
Hmm.
Then when you identify the pain point, that you're able to have a conversation around that pain.
Around that pain, we always looking for the right person to work with, your avatar and that stuff, right? And that's important. But you can't get to that. You can't get to that until you understand what you solve. You can't
Uh,
find that girl, you can't find that guy until you understand how you serve the pain you solve. I call my process for finding your avatar the dressing and undressing. And so I'm going to be walking my students to through the process of dressing their avatar and literally dressing her. That's what I call it. I did it for myself. I love the results I got from it. And I'm like, I have put this in my program. So whether you have a mannequin or you need to cut out a cardboard, but you need to do this physically. This is not a mental thing. If you don't
mhm.
do it physically, you're not going to get the same results. I'll talk a little bit about it right here, right now. You get her there and you put into your avatar instead of just answering questions. Because what I find when you answer the questions, you put it aside and that's it. But I want you to dress up this mannequin. I want you to dress up this cardboard person. Buy it if you want, make it if you must. But I want you to put into her all the problems, all the stuff that is bothering her. I want you to get in there and find out about her. Now, when you start this process, it's you. It's you and where you have been. It's you and how you solve it. So you're going to dress her out. You're going to get her ready for where you're taking her. So when you finish dressing her, you're also going to undress her. You're going to take away things from her. And you're taking away her stuff is the stuff that you're going to be putting back in your program, your process is putting back things into her. So when you redress her, she's good to go. That means she's going to win. That means her business is going to shine. But you're gonna have to do these processes first. And these things take time. And that's why we
Mm,
don't want to do that. Our instinct is to say, I don't want to do them. I can't do it. I don't know how I'm going to get this done. And then we don't do it. It's not true. But this is what we do with ourselves. I know this because I have done it. And I have to ask the question, why don't I want to enter into this part of my pain? What is the holdup? What's holding me here? What benefits am I getting from staying in this specific pain? How is it paying me off? Because there's pains that pay us off, believe it or not. But we haven't identified that it's doing that. So we start saying it's okay. That okay word is not a good word, by the way. But we're okay. We really okay? Or I don't want to deal with it. Because if I deal with it, I'm going to actually have to be honest with myself, and then probably honest with a whole bunch of people or this specific person. And they're
mm,
so tough to get along with. They're so tough to tap into. Matter of fact, let me tell you a little secret. You see, the toughest people around you, the people that is hardest to speak to, those people got so much lessons for you. They're the greatest people to deal with. Not because you want it to be ongoing, but you want to understand why they're placed in your life, why they're in front of you, why they're beside you. What they came to teach you. I really like to find out what you came to teach me. What are you showing me that I don't want to deal with, that I don't
mm,
like? What is it exactly you come to do? Because I know when I had my first son, I'd ask him like, why now? What's he going to do for me? How's he going to help me? I know I'm his mother and I'm going to help him, but what is he going to do for me? And I got a lot of answers. Some I liked, some I didn't like. They were really annoying. But to God now. I want to
Okay.
tell you guys, I'm honest in that. And there's things I
I hear you.
just
I hear
don't.
you. It can get very interesting. Yeah.
And I know that's personal, but let's put it in the business arena. The same thing happened. You know, if you decide I'm going to be a teacher and I'm going to teach, you get to the classroom and there's kids in there that's going to irritate you like nobody's business. But what those kids are there for is to up your game, to show you how you can manage a child like this. And then for the rest of that child's school life, that child have a teacher that they said, oh my God, you know, Miss Barrow was such a great teacher. I didn't like her, but she was so good to me. She helped me get here. And then Miss Barrow, oh my God, I can't believe Otis was this, that child. But I'll tell you what, anytime I had another child like Otis, I was able to handle it because she learned what she needed to learn from Otis. And that happens in our businesses. We get a difficult client and it's hard, but we're supposed to learn something from that client. And that client's supposed to leave us with some lessons, if not right away, but later in their life, that they'll see why we connected. And I didn't get to the email because I'm losing on time, but I'm probably going to just steam it over to next week because, you know, this is an ongoing thing we're talking about. Because
Okay.
why am I talking about it though at the end of the year? Because if you get to release it during the holidays and you get to understand and look inside, you're going to really start 2020 differently. You're going to start seeing things happening differently. And the biggest part I want to really talk about is when you're in business, you have to understand the top of the year. You got to start the top of the year really on a high note. Not about a resolution and what, no, just on a high note in what you have to do, what you must do. Because if you don't, it kind of pull you down. So by the time you get to June, you're all bowed down with things. So could you imagine the other half of the year what happened? You lose a whole year, people. There's a whole year that people
Hmm.
lose every year because they go in feeling, and I remember this used to happen home. People would say January is such a hard month. Oh my God, that's the hardest month of the year. And I used to look at them and thought, what are you talking about? Of course not. Because I wasn't in the pile of hard month. It was a month. And it
Uh-huh.
just happened to be January. And
Yeah.
my business looked different in January. So I made money in January. I was not those businesses that didn't make money in January because I situate my business for January. When people come to me all the way from October, November to December, I'm asking them, what is it they really like? What is it they want? What is it they want to have? All the time. I was a bugger, yes. Call the follow up, on and on and on. So when January land, they're getting what they were asking for.
Hmm.
They're getting, I'm solving their problem. I'm helping that pain. I understand money is tight. So in January, because everybody else say January you suffer, in January, everything that I'm selling is suiting their pocketbooks. I'm getting them there. I'm getting them through January because my business still needed to make money. So I'm getting you through January. And for the people, if you're in a business where that you think that's not true, this is your projection. So you have to see January not as the month that people have no money. Let me tell you, people who have money always have money.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Get the month.
Okay. It doesn't matter. They have not blown it all on one month of the year.
Thank you very much.
Uh, so I do want to say that Jay has made some comments. Let me show you a few. He says,
Yes.
um, the guys causes the guys causes drama who are going to the sale. Our sales goal for each employee was $40,000 a month in sales for $25, 2,500 a month. And if you made the 40,000 a month in sales, you get a bigger piece of the pie. So evidently there were some bonuses.
Right.
And then he says, I learned a lot from this job because I made some mistakes. I learned from those mistakes and some good lessons.
Yes.
So, I think we all learn good lessons when we are in a situation where if we don't make the sale, somebody doesn't eat. We have a different attitude. But also at the same time, that sale should not be one of manipulation and coercion because people will come back. We'll go, we're women. We'll go in every store and come back to the first store and buy what we saw 2 hours ago, right?
Yep. Yep. Just have to patiently wait. Just have to patiently. And I agree with Jay. You learn lessons. It's like when people come to coach with me. If you think you're coming to coach and everything's going to be hunky dory, I got news for you. There's work for you. And if you're not doing the work, it's not going to show up that way. The people who get results from the coaching is who actually do the work. It is not easy work. I get it. But it's work that has to be done. Because when you do those works on yourself, you're so better for yourself, not for the coach. You're better for yourself. You're noticing things about yourself. The only way you don't move is when you don't do them, or because you're not fighting me on it, you're fighting yourself on it. You're fighting against yourself and what you think you should do. The reason you hire a coach is because you weren't doing them. So the reason she's moving you along is so she can see you do them. She knows where you can go. She see your potential after the conversation, and she's taking you through this journey to get you there. I know it mightn't seem that she's getting you there, but she's going to get you there with the things she's going to have you do. Now, if you didn't come to her telling her what you need to tell her, then she can't get you there. She can't take the information out of you. You have to be willing to give it to her. She cannot do anything if you don't give it to her. You have to say it. I mean, if you come to coach, you say, look, I have no money, I'm broke, I'm paying this, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. She has to show you. She has to talk to you about all the steps to get you there. And the invisible steps she's really talking to you about. Because when you got no money, I know how it feels. I can help you with money and mindset because I know what it feels like to not have not a dollar, no, not a nothing in your pocket, and don't know what's going to happen. Don't know what the next day is going to look like, but just the belief that it's going to be better. And the steps that you're going to take is going to get you better. And even if you didn't make money after 7 days, you're going to make money in the next 21 days. But she has to allow you to take the journey, because within the journey is part of the machine that's working to get you money at that 21 days. That machine is the silent machine that's working. That's your belief. That's your faith. That's all those things that you don't want to hear about that's going to get you there. The minute you fall off, the minute you tinker, the minute you decide I am not going to do it, you erupt that whole journey, and that 21 days turn into 42 days and then some more, because you are not going down that path. And it's really hard. I get it, because it's very invisible. It is invisible, but it's going to happen.
Mm.
You gotta have to trust.
Wow.
All right.
Well, yes, we'll have to wrap this up, but
Yeah.
can you review for us?
So today I came on to talk to you about using pain as a fuel to sell. And I dive into it. I didn't go the email route because there's just so much, there's so much to talk about in this.
It really is.
It is just really a lot to talk about. And with my experiences so vast, it allows me to go into different sections and have to contain a lot of time. But I'm glad that we talk about this way, because the email, we could always talk with, we could push it over. It's there, I can do it. But I'm glad that we siphon through this, because it really allowed me to really tell a story on how pain works and how you have to work through it, and all the things humanly that happen, and all the people along my journey. I don't dismiss that I meet along the way, that I get to help. Some paid, some free, some just because I saw the need is there and just dive in and go further into their pain. I feel every business I've ever had, I've used it. It shows up at the face as one thing, but in the background, it's always so much more. I told my partner, for instance, when we owned that daycare, the amount of parents we helped beside their kids was crazy. And it's hard, because once we dissolved the partnership, she lost a lot of the clients, because once I was not going to be part of the daycare, they left. And I was so sad for her, because I was like, she's a good daycare teacher, but I was filling that other role that she wasn't filling, not because she was a good daycare teacher, but the parents had come to realize that I was helping them with their lives. So when that was in favor anymore, which was hard for us to watch. For me, she was saying, I don't mind, it's okay. But for me, when you lose 4 parents one time, when a teacher leaves, it's hard for the other part to continue to carry the business. But anything I do, I'm just going back to that, I find like it's, the face is there, but the real work that I'm put on this earth to do, and I get confirmed every thing I do, that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to do. And
Mm-hmm.
you'll know it too. If nothing more, I want you to really hear this. Whatever pain you've been through, whatever journey you've been on, God is going to allow you to use that to help somebody else. And so you need to look after, when the time is right, that pain, because when you look after that pain, you get to help and be of service to other people. So you have to look after your pain. You can't glass over it. You can't push it down. You can't leave it aside. You've got to go through it, because that journey is preparing you to
Mm.
help somebody else
Wow.
in that pain. And you'll know when it's
Yeah.
time, even if it's not showing up how yours did. You'll know when it's time. You just feel it instinctively. You feel it, and the words come out of your mouth. You don't even realize what's happening until you're in dead center in it. So that's what you're supposed to do.
Okay. Well, Brenna's got this comment. She's saying, been using pain to push me through my life more when I left my mom at an early age. No dad. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. Those pains, those are different. Child. That's why I used to say I am a money mindset coach who help people through um young, I can't remember the full word that I had, trauma, because it's rarely a trauma. When you do things as a child, when you child labor is a trauma in itself. When a child take on an adult duties young,
Mm-hmm.
there's trauma that happened there. And you don't even know it's a trauma until you get older. I remember the first time I was crying about it, and I didn't know what I was crying for, but I was releasing really, and I cried for a long time, and I couldn't stop the tears. It just flew. It just flew. It just was just pouring out. When I looked, my eyes was red and swollen because I just cried for the longest time possible, because I'm not a big crier. So when I was really being healed from it, I cried a lot. I cried a lot of days. I would just be in the midst of something and the tears would just flow. But that was a part of the healing process that was happening. And I start realizing crying is healing, crying is releasing. So when anybody talk about cry, said you're releasing so much. The burden is lifted off of your heart. It's getting lighter. You got to recognize this thing, and you have to allow it. You have to give yourself the time and space to just let it be. Because when you do that, you get to help others. You have to watch them heal and let them go forth. So I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. All right, guys, we talk about fueling the pain to sell. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, girl. We're gonna get there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Coach, do you have any events coming up or things that we need
I
to know
still
about?
have the 4 hour workday. Just a lot of personal stuff has happened here, so I'm glad that I kind of didn't release a date on it. It's gonna
Okay.
open February the 10th. So for the people who buy in this year, they're getting the 997 US dollars. Whether you buy it full for that or you buy it on payment plan, that the minute January hit, it's going to go for the $2,300, which is worth way beyond that. We're working for 8 weeks together on, yes, this is a different kind of coaching. A main day where we coach, but I'll be in the group every single day talking to people because I want to see them win. So for the full 8 weeks, you're going to have me as a coach helping you through all the processes that you'll be given, the workbook, the videos, and what have you. And then in between that, we have 2 breaks where you get a break, catch up, and not a break. The powerful part of this program is for the whole year, you still will have me. It won't be daily anymore, but you'll have me in there for the whole rest of the year. So when you start in February, all the way to the other year, February, you'll be in there. Whatever you didn't catch up on, you get to catch up on. If you change your mind on the business model and you want to change it to something different, you'll be in there for the whole year to tweak, have the courage, have the guidance, have you look after your business. Because I promise you, if you stick to it and focus it, you'll see a difference in your business in a year. Whatever you desire to do, whether it's $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, it is doable. But it's doable if you focus, you're consistent. You will see results. Things will happen in life. Life will happen and knock you down. And that's why I'm keeping people in the program, even though it's a 10-week program, for the full year. Because I don't want at the end of 10 weeks, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And at the end of the 10 weeks, you think, I'm going to get another program, so you're going to help me. What is going to happen is you're not going to finish. And I
Mm.
want you to finish strong. So the year would help you to be with like minded people I will move you through. And I want to stick to what I say. I say $97, $997 is what the program will be until the end of 2019. The minute we hit 2020, it's going to go up to the original price, which is $2,300. Period. Both cases I have payment plan will be there, but that will be the cost.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. So we look forward to
You heard it.
Karen's
4-hour workday.
4-hour workday.
Mhm.
And Bruna, thank you. She says, thanks, Coach.
Yes,
Have
thank
a
you,
great
Brenda,
day.
for always joining in and giving us, some information from you. And thank you, Jay, for being interactive with us today. It's always awesome when you guys are here.
And
Yeah,
Nora's here.
I
And
know.
who else can we see? And Brenda and several others. We just want to thank you for tuning in today. We want to remind you that January 20th, the Woman Like Me event is coming up, and we encourage you to register for that. There's going to be some inspirational and motivational speakers. It's going to be a great day to learn about collaboration and networking. So
Right.
I truly encourage you to get a ticket to that. You can get it through Eventbrite or through.
And I like this feature at the bottom here where it
Isn't that nice?
I like the slide.
I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you,
It's sort
thank
of
you,
like
thank you, a friend for
connect that ticker tape. We love it.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's really cool. So with that, tomorrow is Thursday, Coach, and on Thursday we talk health.
help,
So
yes.
we'll be here with Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. We
Mhm.
hope you all will join us tomorrow, same time, same station, and we look forward to it. And we want to remind you all, don't forget to
To
go
go
to
to
the
the
front
front of your
of
own
your own line. Have a
life.
great day. Bye bye.
Goodbye.